Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to a Monday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. If it's Monday, that must mean the Community First Igloo is our hangout, and you are correct. The open skate going on behind us, and we have one of those Mondays where sports news is a poppin'. A lot of stuff going on, and has happened today as the Monday has unfolded. The biggest news in the sports world comes out of the NFL. There's no big surprise there. Jerry Jones has made a move at his head coaching position. Mike McCarthy has been relieved of his duties. So the Cowboys throw the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, throw them in the pool of NFL teams that will be searching for a new head coach. I guess it would have been at seven. Seven have, I guess, opened up, and Mike Vrabel has filled one. But the Dallas Cowboys now, what an odd, kind of Jerry Jones-ish thing that has happened the last week with the whole Dallas, the head coaching position, Mike McCarthy. The Bears ask for permission to talk to McCarthy. They're told no. And, I get that a little bit. McCarthy was still employed at the time. But, I mean, Jerry, if you knew you were going to go ahead and fire him, I don't know. God bless the Cowboys. God bless Jerry Jones. And now a little bit of rumbling out there. Well, Deion has said he wouldn't mind getting, he wouldn't totally rule out coaching in the NFL, but he would like to coach his son. The Cowboys don't have a high draft pick. Do they have any? Anyway, the Dallas Cowboys now, and probably not great news for the Jaguars. Just one more job opening that you got to believe will be filled. Not necessarily time-wise before the Jaguars, but one more notch the Jaguars probably have to go back in the pecking order of picking a coach. I mean, I hate to be the basher all the time, but I like to think I can, or I at least tell you straight up, or what I think is straight up, but another job that the Jaguars just don't get to pick from the A-list very often on anything. So, big news out of Dallas. Mike McCarthy has been relieved of his head coaching duties with the Dallas Cowboys. Some news out of Athens as well. Trevor Etienne has announced he will come back to Georgia. Not really sure if he is much of a pro prospect. A small running back, has trouble with physicality, with blocking. Did not have a real good year at Georgia. I'm not so sure he had much of an option. He could have gone into the draft and tried to hook on. I don't think he's a draftable running back. Maybe he has a chance if he can hook up with an NFL team as a free agent, but he has decided to stay in college at least one more year. I'm not so sure with the two Robinson guys at Georgia, high recruits that were banged up at running back. Nate Frazier is already there. It looks like he's going to be the back of the future for the next year or so. I'm not sure how many carries Etienne gets at Georgia. Maybe he tries to show that he can, play special teams. I don't know, but Etienne says he will return to Georgia. So there you have it, some news breaking. All right, we have a jam-packed show for you today here on a Monday. A lot going on. Certainly, it's time to relive. We've got 5 playoff games from the NFL in the books. The extended weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Of course, there's a game tonight. Game number 6 is tonight. Rams and Vikings. The game moved to Phoenix. But 5 in the books for the wild card round, and really not a whole lot of drama. A lot like the college football first round, where certainly last night's game, the field goal off the upright that went through and broke the heart of the Buccaneers and moved the Commanders on. Drama in that game, but really the other 4 games were, you had a 32-12 Houston win over the Chargers. That game never really gave you anything, really. Baltimore knocked out Pittsburgh, by now, obviously. 28-14, okay. But you got to realize that was 21-0 at the half. It was just play the string out. not much there in terms of drama or excitement in that ball game. Buffalo was all over Denver. 31-7 was the final. Denver never really threatened, I didn't think. Philadelphia, kind of the same way. The opening kickoff, Green Bay fumbles. The opening kickoff, Green Bay, the road team fumbles. And that was turned into a touchdown. Now, from that moment on, Philadelphia, neither team did much offensively. The Phillies, Tom Brady had that mistake last night as well during the broadcast. But the Eagles really cruised. Green Bay had players getting injured left and right. They never could get much going on offense. 22-10 was the final, and that was never really in doubt, I didn't think. And then certainly Washington and Tampa, they hooked up in a great game, drama filled. But a very vanilla opening round, as I think Patrick Young is hooked up with us. Pat, we got 5 of the first weekend 6 games are in the books. We've got one tonight. Kind of a little bit like the college football first round. Kind of not a lot of drama last. Obviously, Washington kicking the field goal, the walk-off field goal was drama. But Pat, not a lot of drama in round one, the super wild card round so far.
Well, I mean, the drama in Baker Mayfield when him and Irving fumbling that ball.
Yeah,
I think that's just the momentum there because I think the Bucks they were handling the game for the most part up until that turning point. And I mean, I expected the Bills to beat the Broncos pretty good,
and they did.
I knew it was over for the Packers on that fumble.
First play.
On the fumble in the first play of the game. Oh my gosh, I just knew. But you know what? Philly doesn't look scary. They don't pass the ball well at all.
No, they really don't.
What in the
world?
Unless they're wide open.
Yeah, both quarterbacks in that game, Philadelphia and Green Bay, both quarterbacks. I never, and really I don't have a dog in the fight, Pat, but I watched the game, obviously. Both of those quarterbacks, Love and Hurts, watching that game, every time they let go of the ball, I did not think it was going to go where it was supposed to go. I didn't have any confidence in their physical throwing of the football. I want to get back to the Buccaneers. I didn't think Hurts or Love. I'm like, gosh, do they even know where the ball is?
His first pass of the game was almost
picked.
After coming out, he just got lucky. He overthrew his guy by a good amount.
Yeah. Gardner Johnson nearly.
Oh, crazy. I wonder why Jordan Love's had such a regression. He was doing a regression like this. I don't know if it's injuries or what. And then I would say the same thing for Justin Herbert, man. The last interception was not on him, for sure.
I agree.
At what point are we gonna put an asterisk or something there for the interceptions like that? Right off, perfect pass, right off the guy's hands, or any, because there's a balance between it. Because sometimes it's a tough ball for a player to get. They try to get it and not throwing very well, and they end up deflecting it. But sometimes it's all the receiver, and it's not the quarterback's fault. It
goes as a negative, a demerit for the quarterback.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a demerit. Getting back to the Bucks fumble in that game, and that was just a 2 guys didn't sync up fumble, right? 2 teammates didn't really sync up.
They kept saying, they kept saying that it was something along the lines of Baker not getting out there fast enough, or just something, or the snap could have been not clean, or something that messed up the timing on that. And I mean, that's got to be eating those guys inside. Real bad. And
where I was going to go with that was more of a 2 teammates didn't execute between each other, as opposed to you almost wish a defender would have made a great play, right? Poke the ball out or a big hit, but that wasn't the case. So you got to live with, oh man, we kind of butterfingered that thing a little bit. Hey Pat, I see you opening some mail. Did you get that check I sent you? A big check. I mean, big check I sent you in the mail. Did you get it?
No, I did not.
I didn't send it. Sucker. Hey, we haven't visited. Obviously, a lot of NFL.
You're such a clown, Terry.
Hey, speaking of, we've got a new segment coming up at 5 o'clock. Out of Bounds. We got a comedian coming on here.
I love that.
I
wasn't enough for you?
Hey, no. You make me cry. I want him to make me laugh. You make me cry.
That's fair.
Anyway, 5 o'clock, we're going Out of Bounds on Mondays. We've got Mike Freed, local attorney, who is a amateur comedian, plays a lot of the places around here. He's going to come on. We'll have some, sports is fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's sports, man. It's supposed to be a release, man. So,
yeah, for sure.
We're gonna lighten it up. Hey, we have not visited, Patrick. Let's backtrack a little bit here on the program. Obviously, we just went through most of the playoff games in the NFL from Saturday and Sunday. One tonight. I can't wait for that on a cold night. You and I haven't visited because we were off the air. Ohio State, Texas.
Yeah.
What a game. What a game. The two semifinal games have been were wonderful.
Yeah.
Were absolutely wonderful.
They're great.
I want to back up several areas. I want to get your thoughts because we haven't visited since that game Friday night. I thought, Patrick, most people I think will point to the play of the game, the Jack Sawyer scoop and score. I don't think that was the play of the game in that ball game. You know what I think the play of the game was? I think it was 2nd and goal from the 1, Texas with the football. And I never would have done a toss. They run a toss sweep wide.
Oh my gosh! You knew you had to think of me when he said that because you know how much I hate that play.
Yes, and Patrick, a toss sweep wide against a fast defense like Ohio State at midfield maybe, but they were on the 1-yard line, so the field was condensed. Ohio State's players weren't very far down. Their back 7 was tight. That play lost 7 yards. That was the play of the game. That was a terrible call by Texas from the 1. And I know they got stuffed the play before. Remember how it happened? They got a pass interference, 1st and goal from the 1.
Right.
They ran a jumbo package, got stopped at the 1. I run another play inside the tackle at 2nd down and maybe even 3rd down. But they ran that toss sweep, lost 7 yards. Then they had to pass.
Oh my God.
It was third and 8. 3rd and goal from the 8 and 4th and goal. I thought that was the play of the game, losing 7 yards from the 1 to the 8. Killed him.
No, I agree with you. That was it. That I remember the exact moment when they ran that play, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, of all the plays, that could have been a time for them to bring in Arch.
Maybe
they've done that before instead of, and he had such a good dynamic because you got to watch for both for him and the running back. So I know hindsight's 20/20, but gosh, it's rare to see those tall sweeps, man. You got to have elite offensive line that can pull and get out there. And then you almost got to just be lucky because you're catching the ball and you're 5 yards back, 5 to 6.
They snapped that ball from the 1-yard line, meaning the furthest Ohio State safeties and all were only 11 yards away at the deepest, right? They snapped it from the Ohio State's too fast. I'm fine with a tall sweep at midfield against Ohio State, not the 1-yard line. Hey, you make a good point, though. Maybe you run Arch Manning then. You put him in a shotgun, run him to the edge with a run-pass option. I mean, you could have done a lot of things. And you could have done that on 2nd or 3rd down and still had it down, I thought. I'm going to tell you another thing.
It still had another running down,
Yeah.
You can't run on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I thought that toss sweep was the call of the game, the play of the game.
Sauce.
It was. I'll tell you another thing I want to point out here in that game, Patrick.
Oh, man, the SEC teams are out of here now.
Yeah, no SEC teams. Patrick, I want to give a tip of the hat to the Ohio State coaching staff. And I was very impressed that it was almost like Ohio State anticipated Texas was going to sell out and basically double cover Jeremiah. They took Smith out of the game. They had a safety over the top following the cornerback. They took Jeremiah Smith out of the game. And I didn't think Ohio State, I thought their coaching staff planned for that. They didn't panic. I think they went to their other receivers, Carnell Tate and Ibuka, and those guys in the tight ends. I thought Ohio State was one up on the Texas staff. They knew Texas.
I think both teams, and you'll agree. We'll agree. I mean, they shot themselves in the foot with so many penalties in the first half of that game. So many penalties.
A lot of penalties. Boy, I tell you, Notre Dame's playing good football, but Ohio State is immensely talented. This is that team we thought that they were going to be. You know what Notre Dame reminds me of? Notre Dame reminds me a lot of once they got in this tournament, they're that 4 seed that got red hot, that has gotten red hot in March Madness. Probably not. They're not the best team out there, Notre Dame, but they have gotten hot they're a 4 seed that got hot in March, if you ask me. And it doesn't matter. You got to get there. It doesn't matter how you win it. You got to get there. You
just got to get there, my guy.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of college basketball for a quick second, I know I brought up March Madness. The new rankings are out. Did you see where in
Gators
the AP,
number 5?
Gators number 5, Auburn 1. I think that also speaks to the strength of the SEC. We're still not midway through the season, and the SEC now has had 2 number 1 ranked teams. How about that?
Yeah.
But big news out of Auburn. You saw it. You saw the ankle.
Oh, no.
You saw the ankle. Janai Broome with the twisted ankle.
You out for the year?
They don't know. Bad twisted ankle. Second half against South Carolina. Auburn hung on. South Carolina gave them a hell of a game, by the way. Hell of a game in Columbia. But Janai Broome out for an extended period of time. A severe non-surgery high ankle sprain, they're calling it. And nobody knows. But, I mean, he's the odds-on player of the year, and he's going to miss some time. What'd you think of the Gators win on the road? Good, solid, business-like win against an Arkansas team that they were pretty desperate, Patrick. Arkansas was pretty desperate.
Oh, man, and this is the thing, Terry. John L. Davis, the guy for Arkansas, he was like the number 1 kid coming out of the transfer portal.
Yep.
And he's been awful all year. Not just that game where he put up a goose egg.
Yeah.
He's averaged 8 points a game, like 3 assists. And some might say, "Oh, that's not bad." He's a fifth-year senior that went to the Final Four.
He was Elijah Martin's teammate.
Yeah, Elijah Martin's teammate, and Elijah locked him up.
He did. He was much more highly recruited out of the portal than Elijah coming out of FAU. Yeah. He was a good player. I saw him play. He was good. He's in a funk, but Arkansas played their ass off. Arkansas's got talent, Patrick. They've got some talent on that team. But that was a nice, tough Gator win. They were on the road. And, Patrick, one really thing that really impressed me, that was Florida winning another style of game. That was a quick whistle, a bunch of fouls on the road.
Ooh.
I was impressed that Florida won another style, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they won different styles a lot. But, I do want to see Walter Clayton find his groove again. There was a lot of whistles in that game. Low score. It was just kind of
way too many whistles.
Yeah, way too many whistles.
But that, as you know, Patrick, that's a game you can run into a quick whistle referee team.
Did you see his ankle?
Yeah. I turned Broome. I turned away from it. I don't like those things.
Holy moly!
It went bad.
His ankle bone touched the ground.
Yeah, it went bad.
Flat.
Yeah. Janai Broome for Auburn we're talking about.
He stretched some things all the way out.
But getting back to the Gators, I like the fact that they won a grinded out, a quick whistle game. That could happen in the Sweet 16. You never know. They could catch an officiating crew, Patrick, as you know. You could catch an officiating crew that's quick with a whistle. Florida got in deep foul trouble, but their depth really paid off Saturday. They were in deep foul.
What do you think about Arkansas? And, Coach Cal's 0-3 in the SEC.
There's talent there. It's going to take him a year or two. You can really tell that team is a mishmash. I don't mean they're bad players, Patrick, but they look like a mishmash that obviously they haven't played together much.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have.
There's talent there. There's talent.
Sure.
But he's got a little here from a little there.
Denzel Aberdeen, man. What
nice
a great,
player.
Perfect player off the bench, and is great. Like he doesn't. That's what's great. I think what they figured out for Denzel, since he's not, it's like, hey man, your mindset needs to be go score when you're in the game, because I don't think they need him to run offense in the way that Walter, and like he brings a completely different dynamic. Both sides of the court.
Aberdeen, he's probably their quickest quick twitch muscle guy on that team. But do you realize he's like 6'4"? Yeah. Even though he's kind of cat quick. Would you agree? I think he's the quickest guy on Florida's team.
He's the quickest guy on the team, yeah.
And you would think he was 6 foot, 6'1". He's about 6'4". 6'4".
He's his hair probably gives him an extra inch or so.
Okay. Hey, I can look here. I can respect that.
You can respect that?
I can respect that. Good win.
Nice head of lettuce.
Hey, we're coming up on a break here. We won't spend a ton of time here on this, Patrick. Gosh darn. Florida State basketball's on life support. Obviously,
really?
I mean, they got beat by 20 Saturday against Clemson. Clemson's decent. I don't think Clemson's as good as they were a year ago.
No, they're not as good as they were last year.
FSU basketball, and I think everybody likes Leonard Hamilton. It's time. It's time. It's time. And I think it's a long way for back for FSU basketball. If Leonard had it going a little bit here and there, he had some little runs where he had it going a little bit at FSU. But how about this, Patrick? If you can't get it going, number one, FSU, they're never going to be accused of being a basketball school, right? I don't know if they really want to win in basketball. They've got a bad facility that they share. I guess they ended up buying from the city, but they've got a very average facility. And, Patrick, if the ACC can't help you get better in basketball, what will? I think FSU basketball is in a bad place right now, and they've got to make a coaching change, I think, after this year.
I mean, I think they've done the same thing with him that they have done with Bobby Bowden. Stayed probably 3 years too long.
A little long.
Maybe 3 years too long. Definitely.
You're probably right, and I think Leonard's a likable guy. Everybody likes him.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it started looking like it was time a couple years ago. But you know what? I don't know how much they care about being good in basketball over there, and that matters. That matters. I think.
I know, but I feel like it's hard for me to say that they don't. But they're not. They should have felt. And it's hard. It's hard, man. But like this literally is like one of those situations where the old guy needs to get, pushed aside for the new, because things have just changed so much.
I know.
Things have changed so much. Like, look, he's in the middle of a lawsuit or just started up of him not paying like 4 to 6 players a promised $250,000 each.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good look. That's not good press.
It's hard to build a program, and you could say this a little bit about FSU football too, because they got to build now. But it's hard to build a program. I mean, you've got Leonard Hamilton's trying to get his program built back up. He's got a personal lawsuit, and the school athletic department has a massive lawsuit. It's just not a good time over there right now.
Yeah, that's right. It's not going well. But yeah, that's probably maybe until that gets figured out. That's why they're trying to play it safe, or I don't know, man.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know what equates to winning for them over there.
I know. Hang tight, Pat. We're going to take a break. Come back. We'll do a quick segment, and then I hope to be joined by Alex Reed from the Jacksonville Icemen. Boy, they're on a roll now. A week ago, they were scuffling around, but the Icemen have turned things around. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We go out of bounds with attorney/comedian Mike Freed, and then Brent Beaird today, of course. We talked to Brent on Mondays with his college football and basketball report. That'll come up about 5:35. Loaded Up Monday edition coming to you live from Icebreakers Bar and Grill inside the Community First Igloo.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
We're back on Monday. Big news as we welcome you back to the Young and Norvelle show right here on Action Sports Jax. That is not Chief Nakahoma.
Yes, it is.
That is, I'll tell you what, the Renegade and Osceola going to be mad at you for calling them Chief Nakahoma. That is Patrick Young. Very nice. Hey, wait a minute. The comedian comes on at 5:05. You settle down, Mr. Funny Man.
Oh,
That's
man.
funny. You are funny, Patrick. You're not making me cry.
You're funny looking.
I know. I am. Hey, Pat, big news, though, out of the NFL today. The big news story of the day so far. Dallas, Jerry Jones has fired Mike McCarthy. So Dallas is now in the sweepstakes for a new head coach. And, Pat, from a Jaguars perspective, not good news. I mean, just one more, I think, franchise that will go ahead of the Jaguars in terms of the pecking order of naming coaches. You know?
Oh, for sure. Oh, my gosh. I don't know, man. That's the only one that I'm like.
Deion Sanders. How about Deion?
Way.
I know a little bit of talk about that. A little bit of talk about that. How about Deion? How about Deion back in Big D?
You talk about and we
D
talked about this. We talked about this last week, Terry, about guys, coaches having the most success are the ones. Typically, you see that have that kind of really macho players coach role where they're just great inspiration. Like, maybe not so much a Sean McDermott. Maybe not him, but it just made me think, having Deion Sanders is that kind of guy that I think is really won't have an issue at all with having guys inspired and playing. Teams are going to want to play with him. Players are going to want to come play for him and with him. It's a possibility, man. He's got such a great influence, no matter what he decides to do.
The problem I see is I don't know if there's a way that the Cowboys, they picked 12th. I don't think they could wiggle they'd have to wiggle some kind of deal.
Crazy deal. Crazy deal.
Yeah, absolutely. They'd have to give away the star on the helmet.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Give away the stadium and to somehow get Shador high enough, Dallas high enough to pick Shador if Deion stays on his word and says, well, if I went to the NFL, it'd be because I want to coach my sons. So
isn't that's kind of off though? Like I don't know. Then what do you do with Dak? What would you do with Dak Prescott? I guess. I mean, you could trade him away. If a team wanted a quarterback, he's a good enough quarterback to make it to the playoffs.
You would almost have to mortgage your players on your team. To get to the one, you'd have to almost give away Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott, your 12 pick. The star on the helmet, a couple oil rigs, give them the stadium, right? I mean,
apparently some organizations are starting to try to do coach trades. I hear that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, that's happened before. I think that's happened before. Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. So that's the big news of the day. Pat, tonight, the final Super Wild Card round game. The Rams will be hosting, albeit not in their stadium, obviously with the Fires. The Rams taking on the Vikings. And, we talked last week, Patrick, trying to find some type of good out of the terrible fires in California, Los Angeles. Thank goodness this was the last game scheduled. It gave everybody a couple extra days to make this logistic move. I mean, it's hard to move a game midweek. From one venue, a big event from one venue to another. So that was nice that this was already scheduled for the Monday game. They didn't actually have to move the game or anything.
No.
Date-wise.
Yeah. Thank goodness they didn't. And I haven't watched. Is it still 0% contained to your knowledge?
I haven't, shame on me. I've been busy all day today. I haven't seen what's the latest out there. And, I also feel for the poor folks in the North Carolina area that the storm that came through a while ago, they're still struggling. There's, boy, FEMA is stretched thin now when they get really into LA. Just terrible. Just a terrible situation. Pat, we got a few minutes for this break. I kind of pointed this out. Florida got by Arkansas. They're 2-1 with a huge win over Tennessee. And now, Pat, not that anything's easy in the SEC, but Florida's next 4 games, Patrick, they should win their next 4. All the while, the rest of the conference is going to start beating up on each other. Florida has, in order, Missouri, Texas, South Carolina, and Georgia. Georgia, by the way, is ranked this week, 23rd. But, Pat, Florida could sit – if Florida takes care of business the next 4 games, which, as you know, that's 2 weeks of schedule. Right? 4 games is 2 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, the Alabamas play the Kentuckys. The Auburns play the Tennessees. They all start playing each other during these next 2 weeks. If Florida holds serve, it's a nice spot to be in. Now, later on in the season, they're gonna play a bunch of ranked teams in a row again. Right. But you see where I'm going with that? If Florida wins their next 4,
they're going to have a chance to be in the mix, to be tied for first.
They're going to be sitting really pretty heading into that February 1st game at Knoxville. How about that game at Knoxville? By the way, that's a Saturday day game. They don't have to go.
They're going to want some revenge, that's for sure. Tennessee want some revenge. They're just not a great offensive team to me.
Tennessee,
if you don't have Challenger,
they're clunky. They are. I watched a lot of their game with their last game over the weekend. I watched a lot of Tennessee basketball. We just saw them play Florida. You're right. They're not smooth on offense like they used to be. They're clunky. They labor on offense, don't they?
A little bit, man. And like if they can't get anything easy, like if you force them to play half court offense,
Yeah.
versus in transition, them getting out quick. If they get out quick, they're going to be a problem. But I just don't think half court wise, going up against a good team defensively, they really would struggle, especially with size, because their bigs they don't throw the ball into anybody in the post.
No, not really. Not really. Hey, Pat, you're a college basketball guy. That program known as the Duke Blue Devils in college basketball, pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Historically, pretty good.
Yeah.
Had a lot of good individual players come through there.
Absolutely.
Had a lot of good freshman basketball players come through there.
Absolutely.
Like who? Like guys like Christian Laettner and Grant Hill and did Zion Williamson play there?
Yep.
Guys like that.
Jason
Tatum and Williams and all these guys. Did you see what your boy Flagg did over the weekend?
Yeah, man.
42, freshman record. He goes for 42, Patrick.
I know, right?
For God's sake. And smooth 42.
Yeah. I didn't see I know he didn't have a double-doubler, but he was, he was knocking down a lot of catch and shoot, wide open threes.
Oh.
He's got a really pretty shot.
He's got a good shot. He's explosive.
He's complete, man. He's running the game, I don't think he's getting that much weight, but he's still got his teenager body. Once he gets, about 10 pounds of muscle on him, man, he's going to be unbelievable in the NBA.
Yeah, he will.
Such great feel.
He does, doesn't he? He's got a good feel. What is he, about 6'7"? He's that good height. He can go it.
6'9".
Is he that? Is he 6'9"? Yeah.
I think so.
And he's explosive. Yeah, but you're right. He's going to grow into his body. He's one and done, right? He'll be first pick.
He'll be first pick.
He'll be first pick. Hey, speaking of basketball, college basketball, a little bit. Shame on me, I didn't pull the clip to get it into our system. But did you see? And I don't know where they were at. Shaq might have been in Gainesville. I think Shaquille O'Neal's daughter. He's got a daughter that plays basketball at Florida.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
So this might have been in Gainesville. But did you see the viral clip over the weekend? Shaquille O'Neal, who, by the way, I love. He's so fun. Shaq's such a fun guy. There's a video of Shaq, and he's kind of talking to the camera, and he kind of spins around, and he turns around, Patrick, and he turns right into the upper chest kind of chin of Olivier Rio.
Oh, are you serious?
The 7'9", and I'm telling you, you know how big Shaq is. Shaq's all of 7'1". I mean, Shaq is a huge, tall dude. Have you ever been around Shaq in person?
No, I have not. Mm-mm.
But he's all of 7'1".
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal. He pivots in, and this was set up. They did it on purpose. He turns, and Patrick, I'm telling you, Shaquille O'Neal, his face came up to the Adam's apple level of Rio, the 7'9" kid at Florida. And then Shaq does a funny face like Shaq does,
Yeah, let me see if I can.
See if you can see that. Here, while you're digging that up, here's another one. If you watched the Gator game this past Saturday against Arkansas, there was a dead ball timeout where the broadcast went to commercial, and then they came back. Wow. Did you see it?
Yeah.
How much he's that much taller than Shaq?
Yeah.
How much taller is that, you think?
Oh my gosh. 6 or 7 inches.
6 or 7 inches taller than Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
For Rio. Hey, let me say, speaking of, and I know a lot of Gator fans saw this Saturday, Patrick. I don't know if you saw the broadcast. They're coming back from commercial break, TV guys, Florida, Arkansas. And the shot is an on-court camera guy is right outside Florida's huddle, right? Just came out of commercial, and Florida's still huddled up about to take the court. So the camera is right behind Rio, the 7'9" kid.
Okay.
Patrick, so he's in the back of the huddle because he's not on he's not on the floor. You know how if you're not playing, you're in the back of the huddle. Patrick, it was ungodly how much taller he is. That Denzel Aberdeen, who's all of 6'3", 6'4", Aberdeen looked like he was a foot and a half shorter than him. It was ungodly how much taller he is than a bunch of tall basketball players.
You're absolutely right.
It was unbelievable.
It's awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Florida's tall basketball players,
incredible. Yeah.
What a display of depth and rotational depth. Alex Condon didn't play a great first half. He went crazy in the second half. Houck had an incredible first half against Arkansas. And how about your boy Alexis? Sam Alexis comes in. Florida was in deep foul trouble. Sam Alexis came in and played his tail off.
He had some good minutes.
He did. He
need more from him. That's what we want to see. We want to keep seeing like there's more from a guy like that to find his minutes.
Yeah. And then Florida's front court depth came out. I mean, Florida had 3 guys foul out. Martin fouled out, and Florida didn't miss a beat on the road in front of 18,000. I thought that was a nice win because it was a different style of win. It was a rock fight win. They showed they could score 100 points. We know they can score. Well, that was a low-scoring game. The whistles, the officials took over the game, which was wrong.
You like that play, Will Richard? Save that ball that was going out of bounds.
Well, that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
Hey,
that's what we do, man. That's what we do.
So one of the Arkansas guys had a slam on. Oh, it was nasty. I don't remember who that was. Nasty dunk
on somebody.
Yeah, kind of. I think Condon was behind the guy a little bit. He wasn't straight up on him, but this guy threw one down nasty for Arkansas. Arkansas, that was a tough game for Florida. Arkansas was desperate. Didn't you get that feeling? They were desperate Saturday at home.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't want to start 0-3. They didn't want to be that team, but they are where they are. They're so lucky because they're going against Louisiana, LSU. Yeah, and LSU is 0-3 as well, so they should be able to come away with their first win.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Pat, let's take another break here. We're going to try and see if Alex Reed, unless he's tied up in the office. Obviously, the Icemen, this is their corporate office and their practice facility. We always visit with Alex on Mondays, catch up with the Icemen. Boy, they had a good week, 3-0 week, as a matter of fact. We'll try and talk some Icemen hockey, getting us close to the top of the hour. 1 down, 1 to go. It's a Monday edition. You know where we're at. We're inside the wonderful, huge sports bar, Icebreakers Bar and Grill, inside the Community First Igloo, right off I-95. Stop by if you're in the area looking for just a hangout place, sports watching place, or if you work in the area, a great place for lunch. Icebreakers Bar and Grill. Back after this quick timeout.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Busy Monday, as you would expect, coming out of the full first weekend of Super Wildcard action in the NFL. One more game, Rams taking on the Vikings, and be a bit of an emotional one tonight, I would imagine, Patrick. Certainly the broadcast will be heavy with regard to covering the tragedy in L.A., but, yeah, that'll be the 6th and final game. Pat, after tonight, 6 teams are sent home, man, in the NFL, and 8 will still be standing. We'll go over the lineup for this coming Saturday and Sunday now. There won't be a Monday night game next week. Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young, here on a Monday at Icebreakers. I told you what a wonderful full-service restaurant they have backing up this sports bar inside the Community First Igloo. Man, they got all kind of stuff to choose from. Cheesesteaks, burgers, sandwiches, rib sandwiches, on and on and on. Tacos, red beans and rice. They've got a grilled skirt steak I've had. It's unbelievable. Kids menu as well to take care of the kids. Chicken wings, bone-in chicken wings, gumbo, chili. Oh, both of those sound good on a cold day. Gumbo and chili. Full-service menu, full-service restaurant supporting the Icebreakers Bar and Grill right here inside the Community First Igloo. Patrick, I'm starving right now, too. I had nothing to eat all day.
Why would you do that to yourself?
All this food. It's a good way to kind of moderate the love handle here. The love handle. Patrick, how you doing on your weight? Are you where you want to be?
No, I mean I can improve, but I'm not like not over. I just can improve in health for sure.
I'm one of those.
Getting the cardio better. I eat pretty good.
I'm one of those guys. You're not supposed to do this. I step on the scale at home every day, and you're really not supposed to do that. I think it kind of can dominate you, and yeah. Mine's
it'll dominate you for sure. That'll get in your head.
Patrick, mine's the spare tire, but at this point, am I really going to go on these crazy diets and all? Probably not. I'm probably not.
No diet works. It's a lifestyle.
It's temporary, right?
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, diets are temporary. They definitely are. I want to make sure we keep hitting this. The big news, the big sports news out today is Jerry Jones has made a move. He has let go. His head coach, Mike McCarthy, is no longer the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So Jerry and Patrick, I can't remember the number. My God, he's gone through some coaches, hasn't he? Jerry Jones.
Yeah, they've had a lot.
He'll go through some coaches on you.
Garrett, Wade Phillips, Will Parcells.
Dave Campo, guys like that, Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, Johnson, very, very successful. Speaking of Jimmy Johnson, it's funny that name came up. Yesterday, I'm sitting there watching between games, watching one of the the pregame show, right? And Jimmy Johnson's on one of those shows with like 9 guys on set.
Yeah, I know, right?
So,
it's always a lot.
I'm watching Jimmy Johnson, and I don't know why, Patrick. I go, how old is Jimmy Johnson? Let me do a little tester on you right now, Patrick. I'll give you 2 years either side. All right. How old do you think Jimmy Johnson is? And it really surprised me.
Jimmy Johnson is 71.
81.
Wow.
Can you believe he's 81?
How old is Jerry Jones?
105. Well, they were teammates right on an Arkansas football team, so he's right in that area.
Acts like it.
Jimmy Johnson has held up well, and would you ever have thought, I guess not, you guessed 71, would you ever have thought Jimmy Johnson is 81 years old? And I texted this out to my buddy. To put it in context, you realize Steve Spurrier is 79. Would you have ever thought Coach Spurrier is younger. than Jim Johnson?
No, I would not.
Would you have ever thought of that?
No, I would not.
Yes. Hey,
yeah, that's hard to believe. Coach Spurrier looks like he could be 85.
And you know, Coach has got the bad knees, and so it's hard to watch him walk with the bone on bone and a little bit of a bad back. But and I'm not picking at Coach Spurrier, but just think about Coach Spurrier and Jimmy. I guess living that Miami lifestyle. When you've got the Miami lifestyle and you got money, you keep yourself pretty fit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty fit. Hey, speaking of NFL coaches, did you hear, Patrick? And we talked about this. I brought this up last week. It's happening earlier than I thought. Did you hear where the word is the Chicago Bears are wanting to talk to Marcus Freeman about their head coaching opening? Did you hear that?
I'm not surprised.
Me either. I thought it was going to happen a couple of years down the road, but he's got the traits to be an NFL coach, I think.
Yeah, I think he does it. Yeah, he's
got the NFL more, as much or much more than the the standard college guy. The standard college guy. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I thought it was really, really interesting that the Bears are at least asking. And if you're Marcus Freeman, I mean, you kind of want to go ahead and you talk, don't you? Just for leverage, don't you talk? Just to show that you're wanted, or do you say, well, I'm happily employed? And I don't know. Tough call.
It's one of those you don't know until you're in that position.
Yeah. But a lot of times, like with these jobs that are open right now, and that pool of what there's 7, 8, 9 guys that are thrown around. A lot of times you take a couple of the jobs. You take a couple of the interviews just to kind of meet people, right? You may say, hey, I'm not going to take the Green Bay job, but I don't know when I may run across this owner again, or I may run across this general manager again down the road. I think you take some interviews just to get in the mix, don't you? No?
I don't know. It depends on how badly do you want to be an NFL coach versus stay where you are.
Yeah. You think
that's a huge factor there, And I think Coach Mark Freeman, he more than likely ask his wife because his wife is sacrificed everything for him. So if she wants to stay at college, he'll stay. If she don't care, NFL is possible, but I can't see him leaving. So yet.
Yeah, I think it's early. I do think do you think he steps into the NFL at one point, Marcus Freeman?
Yeah, I think so. I think the fact that his name's even getting thrown out there.
Yeah.
And that's got to be, him seeing that as a blessing, because it is the fact that, he's getting looked at. It's going to be in the conversation. It's a dream, it's the top level of the game. So I think almost every coach wants to be on that level at some point. And
now that he's getting courted right now, he's young. To get courted this young, it would be hard to fight them off for the next 25 years, wouldn't it? If he stays successful. At some point, he will try it. I'm with you, though. I think I think he coaches at Notre Dame another 3 to 5 years, but I do think he dips into the NFL. I think he gives it a shot. I could see him, and he's got that business-like approach that I think fits the NFL. It fits them well. Pat, have you looked ahead at the weekend games? Some pretty good NFL games.
No, I have not.
Saturday now you'll have Houston at Kansas City because Kansas City has to play every game at home. There's a rule, right? Chiefs are always at home. So that's Saturday at 4:30. Washington at Detroit is the Saturday night game coming up, 8 o'clock. Sunday, the winner of tonight's game will go to Philadelphia, 3 o'clock on Sunday. And then how about this? The final game over the weekend coming up, Patrick. How good is this game going to be? And what a shame one of these guys gets sent home. Baltimore at Buffalo, 6:30 Sunday night. Ooh. How good is that one?
That suck. Yeah. I hope it's a high-scoring game because some of these have been.
Yeah.
I hate how this camera does, man. I'm like in the middle of my camera, and yet if I turn it where my face is barely on it,
right,
on this camera, then I'm in the picture.
Well, that looks great right there.
Yeah, it looks fine. But if you saw how I'm holding how my laptop's laid down, you said what's wrong with this camera?
I wonder why. What do you think?
I don't know.
It's a laptop?
My laptop, yeah. No, it's done this before.
We need to buy you a one of the little what do you call it? The camera I got. Like, it's not much. Just,
I think it's a system error. I don't think it has anything to do with my computer.
Logitech little camera.
I don't think it has anything to do with my laptop.
Well, we got to see your face. We got to see your pretty face, Patrick.
Yes, I agree. And I like my laptop to be in front of me.
Patrick, you're a handsome man.
Not way off to the side.
Oh, Patrick's not happy.
So I can take a picture for you because you're going to be like, wow, that is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, do that. Oh, is it operator error? Have you done something wrong to your camera, your computer? What's the problem? Get your mom on the case. She'll fix it.
I don't need those.
You taking a picture of it?
Yes. I want you to see where I'm sitting so you can see my face is in the middle of the screen.
Okay. All right.
And then you'll see like, wow, you're
all right.
Way off to the side.
Man, we got not happy Patrick. Get happy Patrick back. I don't want angry Patrick.
How is that angry?
But I do like your I love your Letterman's jacket there on a cold day. Man, it's a raw, nasty day out there, isn't it? Nasty day,
yeah, this Letterman jacket, it really does protect you from the wind, man. Gosh.
Nice.
It protects the heck out of you for that from that wind. It's brutal out there.
We don't get a lot of really nasty winter days, but this was a nasty raw day. I left the house early before sunup. I went to the gym, and it was raining this morning before it got daylight. Just cold. It's been a nasty day, man. Nasty.
Well, yeah. I mean, how I am with the rain anyway, and for it to be cold and the rain, and my truck is. I park it outside, so I don't have the covering of a garage. So,
yeah, not good. Not good. Hey, one good thing about the wintertime for me, I don't like the wintertime. I get bone cold. But when you're in your car and you're by yourself in your car, man, once you get going, I bet you I turn my heater in my car. My car is probably 150 degrees inside. It feels so good to warm up.
Yes.
In that car. All right, Pat, let's wrap up hour number one. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going out of bounds. We are taking this thing out of bounds, Patrick. Are you ready? You ready to go out of bounds?
Ready to go.
We got our buddy Mike Friedman sitting with us here as we kick off the second hour on a Monday. Coming to you live from Icebreakers Bar and Grill. We're inside the Community First Igloo. You know it. You see it. If you're going down I-95, you look over at the exit at Emerson Street. You see the Igloo. Huge sports bar inside. This is the corporate office of the Jacksonville Icemen and also their practice facility. 1 hour down, 1 to go. Coming back on the other side, it's the Young and Norvelle Show on Action Sports Jacks.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, here we go. Time to go out of bounds right now on the Young and Norvelle show. And once in a while, you got to go out of bounds. You know, you can't keep it between the lines. Sometimes you got to go out of bounds. Welcome back on a Monday. Terry Norvelle coming to you, of course, from our Monday home, the Icebreakers Bar and Grill, huge sports bar inside the Community First Igloo, of course, the corporate home of the Jacksonville Icemen. They practice here. Their corporate home is here. And, of course, they play their games down at the arena. Out of bounds with this guy. That's me. Mr. Mike Freed joins us. I don't want to get you in trouble and with your firm, but the comedian counselor, would that be rude to call you that?
I'm good with any of that. If I haven't offended them yet, I don't think you're going to.
Okay. So long-standing attorney here in
True.
in our area.
30 years.
30 years. You're a local guy.
I am. Well, actually, I'm from D.C., but I've been here.
Oh, you're here. If you went to
since-
JU,
I have been here since 1986.
Practicing attorney, been doing it a long time. What do you specialize in?
I do business litigation. So when people are
That sounds
fighting
so
over
fun.
money or stuff, I'm usually at the center of it. So none of the things that your average person needs. I don't do personal injury. I don't do family law. I don't do criminal law.
So you didn't stop, or you didn't throw your business cards out on a few.
I did not.
You saw some fender benders on a rainy day, man. You're loving life out
I'm
there.
just lucky I wasn't one.
Exactly. You've been in the comedy circuit.
Yeah.
Talk about it locally. Yeah, it's kind of a hobby kind of thing. You play comedy clubs around town. Talk about it.
Not just around town. I travel and do it. It's,
really?
It's something I've been doing about 10 years now. And, it was it's like a lot of things I do kind of impulsively. Got into it on sort of a challenge. And the club owner of the Comedy Zone at the time said I was good enough to keep doing it. And so I did keep doing it and turned it into something probably more than a hobby. I use it to raise money for charity.
Okay.
Use it to make a little money here and there, but mainly I repurpose it for good causes. Do a lot of emceeing of events. Do a lot of comedy when I travel for my legal work. I'll pick up some gigs in other states, and then I'll also support charities in other communities around the country.
To do the Comedy Zone, you can't just go over there. And that's the Ramada Inn. Been there forever. I've gone to
It
shows
is
there.
indeed the lovely Ramada Inn under the interstate, but really a great Class A comedy club.
I've been there 5 or 6 times, 8 or 9 times in my life. Obviously a Jacksonville guy, but you can't just walk onto the stage there. You got to go through a little. I mean, it's a professional comedy club.
It's a high end comedy club, and occasionally you can find an open mic at a place where it's a good time to try out comedy. But if you're opening up, as I have the privilege of doing from time to time, for the national headliners, the Saturday Night Live people when they come through, the Don Moreras, the Henry Chos, there's definitely a process for that, and they have some say in who gets.
Do you work sports in? I mean, sports should be fun.
Yeah.
Our show, and Patrick's not with us right now. You get a shout out here.
How about that?
But my philosophy, I've been in radio TV for a long time. Sports is important, but it's not important. It's sports, for God's sakes. We always like to keep it light if we can. And now, obviously, there's tough stuff. Tonight, there's tough stuff. The fires, and there's a game, and the Rams had to move. But sports, do you work sports?
Sure.
There's tons of funny stuff in sports.
I tend to start off all of my shows with some topical things, and sports are topical.
Yeah, sure.
And at the end of the day, you should be able to laugh at everything. I laugh at, you want to be sensitive, but also, this old expression, you can laugh or you can cry, and I choose to laugh. And certainly there's a lot of funny things.
Well, comedy gets the hall pass. I mean, comedy and animation, you can kind of,
you would hope.
Under the guise of comedy, there's only a few things that you. Well, he's a comedian. It's comedy. It's animation.
It depends.
Right?
I mean, it used to be, and it should be that comedy should be an exaggeration of the truth for the purpose of making fun of yourself or somebody else. There's obviously some rules or consequences. You hear about cancel culture, but I don't really buy into that concept. I think if you say something, you got to be prepared to back it up. To some degree. So
you and I just bouncing around. Mike Freed joined us here. We're going out of bounds on the show on a Monday. You and I were kicking around some stuff, and I've heard of this.
Yeah.
The World Wife Carrying Championships.
Right.
And speaking of politically incorrect and all, I've seen this before.
Right.
Where does that happen at? They throw them and run.
A lot of the good stuff's coming out of the UK. I saw that one in the UK, and yes, there is a World Wife Carrying Championship. You don't just carry your wife for quite a long distance. You also have to go through a certain number of obstacles. So picture you put her over your shoulders, feet sticking out of your ears, perhaps.
Nice.
And then who knows where her head is hanging.
But
as I looked at it, I thought, I don't have a wife, but also if I do have a wife, she's likely to be larger than me. I'm a little guy, and so I feel like there should maybe be a world.
So it's okay.
Husband carrying competition.
I was going to say it's okay that way, but if the other way, might get in some trouble, right?
I don't know. Let's make it a spouse carrying. I think I could compete more that way.
Kind of like a rickshaw thing, sort of, without the.
It could be. Years ago, I do some running, and I did one of these Tough Mudders, and there's one part of it where you have to carry another human being who randomly shows up when you do about 100 yards, which is not an easy task. And this guy showed up and picked me up, swept me off off my feet. And he probably figured there's a little guy that'll be easy for me, but he was 6'7",
right?
And he didn't realize that reciprocally now I had to carry him the next 100 yards.
Yeah,
and that was not easy.
And the wife carrying those crazy Brits. Did you say who was that?
It is out of the UK. That's where they do all the fun stuff apparently, and that is where that competition.
How about gravy wrestling?
Gravy wrestling also.
Gravy wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that one either. I'm not even sure that's
Who
healthy.
cares? It's gravy wrestling.
It is gravy
No,
wrestling.
no. It's human gravy wrestling.
Well, I don't think the gravy is made from humans. That would be a problem.
Okay.
I think it's
But
humans are in the gravy.
In the gravy.
Yes.
Wrestling. Now, waist tie? Is it a big bowl? What
I think I was trying to find out the rules. I think it gradually increases as you stay in the gravy, and I'm guessing it doesn't get any cleaner. But you know that's
is that those filthy Brits too, or is that Belgium? One of them was from Belgium.
Yeah. The Belgium one was the warning against eating Christmas trees.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Christmas tree eaters out there.
Apparently, there was somebody in Belgium or some entity in Belgium that publicized that you could dispose of your Christmas tree
in your
by
stomach,
boiling the pine needles and make it some sort of. But the I guess whoever the Food and Drug Administration of Belgium came out and said that you cannot eat that. That's toxic. So lest you.
Because they spray these Christmas trees with stuff.
Well, some things just aren't edible anyway.
What about the digestive factor of that?
Yeah, that can't be good. I mean, it is a little extra fiber. I'm sure some of us could benefit from that.
Hey, those Belgian people, man, they're crazy. We had we like to keep it light around here. We do some crazy stuff, sports, look for fun stuff. Last week, Mike, we had a story about a Belgian lady. By the way, part-time job, family of 5. Her 2024 New Year's resolution. So last year's New Year's resolution, she wanted to run a marathon,
right,
every day of the year.
Oh, get out of here!
And she did it.
Wow, 365
takes it up a notch. Last year, as if that's not tough enough, it was a leap year. She had to do 366.
Well, at that point, what's another marathon between friends?
Yes, exactly. How wrong is that though? If you're going to do a marathon every day for a year. Come on, leap year.
Wow, I want to understand how she did that.
By the way, part-time job and family of 5. So
right.
Woke up every morning, bang one.
That is a lot of running or walking. Now, in full disclosure, I have a charity called Free to Run.
Yeah.
Where I for 7 years did 6 marathons over 6 days, but then I stopped.
Yeah.
We raised a bunch of money for charity that way, but I don't know how one could budget the time.
She did literally. To stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 26.2.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Every day.
I mean, unless she's booking and can't.
But
She's got to be going 6. That's like 6 hours of something a day.
And most people dig some sleep.
Yeah.
Did I mention she had a part-time job?
That's crazy.
And a family of 5.
Yeah.
Did it. The year before, a Belgian guy did it.
Right.
I don't know what's going on over there.
I don't know. His wife must be great.
I guess. You've done a few marathons?
I have done, over 50 of them.
50?
Yeah.
I've done 2.
Yeah. How'd it go?
2. Interesting story. I did them both in my 40s.
Yeah.
Been a runner, and I pretty much, I turned 60 next month, and I've been planning to I've been running for 30 years. Kind of after sports at JU, and, had to do something. So become a runner. I'm more of a shuffler. I don't call it running. I don't
keep moving.
Shuffle. But so anyway, been a long time runner. Me and a bunch of guys, you run, do 5K, did a million river runs. Obviously, if you run, you want to do a marathon. It's just it's there. So we got planning. Me and a couple buddies. This was way back. I can actually date it. It was the very first Donna marathon. Okay. So to run a marathon, you got to train. You got to start several months ahead of time. You got 10 and do 12. So your weekend's tied up, and you start doing 12, 15 miles, you're tired the rest of the day. You got to be selfish a little bit. So train. We're excited. We get ready to do the very first Donna marathon. Did it, finished it, never stopped. But we caught an 80-degree day.
Oh, no.
In December. 80. It just felt cheated, right?
Yeah.
And we were all going to just do one. Or do one to say, because if you mentioned you're a runner, you ever run a marathon?
Right.
Okay, yeah, I did.
And then they asked, how long is that?
Yeah. How long? Did you finish it? Did you die? So anyway, damn it was terrible break. So kind of felt cheated, you just got a bad day caught a flyer. So damn it if we didn't say, all right, let's do one more.
Yeah.
So we waited a year, trained again, and didn't do the Donna again. We said, okay, we'll do the Jacksonville Bank. The old Jacksonville Bank.
Yeah, now
started. It started and ended at Bull.
Right. Nice flat run.
And that was in February. Right. So same deal. Train. Get there to Bulls. Get ready to go. Damn it, we just felt cheated the first time. So we do it. 80-degree day in February.
Wow. Now, when you say cheated, you're not suggesting it was easier.
No, just felt cheat. You want it. Marathon should be cool.
Yeah, well, it certainly makes it easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of felt cheated, and I'm not a time guy and all, but you're like, damn it. It was. Of course, it's going to be a grind, but it was just, come on. It's not supposed to be 80 degrees when I'm running a marathon twice.
I don't mean to give you lessons in geography, but you may want to leave Florida to do a marathon if you want to find cooler weather.
Speaking of, there are people that do marathon. The one guy did 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents.
Yeah, I don't understand logistically how you could do that. Like, do you have a private jet?
Yeah, it's the Concorde, I guess.
Yeah. Now, in my case, when I do the 6 and 6 days, it's not like a sanctioned marathon. I'm just running down 90 from I basically run from Tallahassee to Jacksonville back. It's 157.2 miles.
Yeah.
26.2 miles a day.
What does your free to run?
Yeah.
What does that benefit? What's the end game for that?
Yeah, so it benefits Jacksonville Area Legal Aid, which provides legal aid to indigent people that don't have the ability to pay for civil legal aid. The first 7 years, we raised money for pediatric patients who are navigating their healthcare issues and need legal assistance to get through it. So we raised $2.25 million to benefit that and endow that forever with the assistance of Baptist Health. And then now we've started a new endowment called Shelter for Elders, and that raises money for indigent seniors who are navigating things like evictions and foreclosures and things that make them housing insecure. So, go to freetorun.com and you can check it out.
Total opposite in the spectrum.
Yeah. Now let's talk about stupid things.
How did comedy was in the family and the blood, and that first.
Yeah.
You got to dip your toe in the water at some point and get up in front of it on a stage somewhere.
Yeah.
Where did the comedy thing come in?
Yeah. I mean, the short answer is, as a kid, I won't surprise you looking at me. I was not much of an athlete.
No, stop it.
I know.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I don't mean to, if you just listen.
Right. I look at you and think left tackles.
Right.
You probably played at about 6'7", 310.
I still have eligibility.
You
Let's
just
put it that way.
Trim down.
Yeah.
You couldn't give your eligibility away, could you?
I could not. I've offered for any college that's starting. You need somebody got a lot of heart. But
get in there.
Right. Exactly. But so I acted. I did theater, but I did not do comedy. I always admired comedy. I always admired comedians, and had a chance to go do a workshop at the Comedy Zone. Did that, and then was selected to stay on and become one of their MCs, and been doing it ever since.
Stage fright at the beginning.
Oh, still. I mean, especially when you try out something new.
And it's probably good, right? A little bit of same with a sports game. I mean,
gotta be
you want a little adrenaline.
Very first time I did it, though, I was down deliberately. I went to Tampa. I was like, nobody will know me here, and just went up to.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, they did like a bowling alley open mic, and
no, the crowd. Hey, Mike, are you the guy from Jacksonville?
Yeah, that would be not a good thing. Horrible and painful, and still it is. It's a lot like you play baseball. I always equate it to baseball players because I admire baseball players so much because you get up, you strike out, and then you're sure the next time you're going to hit a home run. And comedy's like that. If you hit 500 in comedy, you're doing really well.
Wow. Yeah. We got some other things to talk about. I'm just bouncing around. Obviously, first time we're messing around with Out of Bounds, Mike Freed. I don't know the comedians and the hot comedians. I know the ones I've liked over the years, but I know a little bit. I do some work at the arena, so I've worked a bunch of comedian shows at the arena on the back end logistics. One of the hot guys going is a clean comedian.
Yeah.
Bargatze.
Yeah, Nate Bargatze. He'll be back here in August.
He's coming here?
Yeah, he's coming here.
What's he playing?
I think he might be playing. He was at Florida Theater when I saw him last year.
He's big enough to play the arena, though, now.
He
probably.
could. It's
Saturday Night Live he did.
Oh, yeah. So he's one of the hottest guys out there.
I'm like, what is his comedy called? He's
self-deprecating. It's certainly observational comedy. And
I think self-deprecating is the best comedy.
Sure.
I do that a lot. And I'm being serious for a minute in comedy here. I love self-deprecating. you run into some people that cannot in their everyday life, and I feel sorry for those people.
Yeah,
you can't make fun of yourself. My God, I mean, hey, I'm not the tallest guy going. I mean, come on, you know what I mean. His part of his shtick is he's clean.
Yeah,
he's just funny and keeps the face.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good ones that are clean. I mean, there's Brian Regan, there's Jim Gaffigan, of course.
Gaffigan's been around forever, sure.
And there's very funny, dirty comedians. I tend to be PG or PG-13 myself.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got to do two things in comedy that you do probably in all entertainment. I'm sure you do it on air. You got to be authentic. In other words, you can't pretend to be somebody you're not. You're not going to be Pat Summerall. You're going to be Terry Norvelle. And then you got to be likable. And so what's a better way to be likable than to be self-deprecating? If it's genuine.
Absolutely. And, not that when you're among the fellas or in a social setting, there's a time I'm going to bust on you a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. But be able to do that to yourself.
Well, ultimately, there's got to be a butt of every joke, right? Sure. And so it's either someone else, or it's you, or it's somebody who's not there, or it's some minority, or it's a group. So if you're going to make fun of the audience, if you're going to make fun of, married people, then it's a good place to start making fun of yourself.
I want to make sure I get to this. We talked about some stuff. I don't know where you're going with this. Soccer and a toilet in Manchester.
Oh,
or something.
Well,
what?
Yeah,
what?
it was
nothing funny about that right now, pal.
Well, it's pretty funny. There was a soccer player, again, in the UK. They seem to do a better job of accumulating their stupid news that's out of bounds. Who, when he goes to play soccer at a given stadium, he picks a toilet that's his toilet. He uses that toilet throughout the time that he's there. He doesn't really allow anyone else to use it. Or if they're using it, then he's got to wait because he will not use one of the other toilets. It just got me thinking about superstitions. And you were a baseball player. Do you have any funny sports superstitions?
I did not, but it is baseball's just fraught with superstition.
You see that guy last night? It's my team. I grew up with the Redskins, now the Commanders, and that kicker, who I think is the sixth kicker the Commanders have had this year. He did all kinds of things before he went up. He had to fix his hair. He had to do sort of the who's the tennis player who does all the touching of himself. You know what I mean.
I know exactly who you mean.
Yeah. But it's crazy how people do it. He legitimately has obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah, I was going to say that some of that in sports is the almost tick. It's a tick. Sergio Garcia.
Right. He used to milk his club before he played.
Yeah, he just couldn't.
Rocco Media.
Yeah, Rocco.
No, wait. That's
not Rocco. He's the golfer here.
Yeah, no, this guy's from Spain.
Oh, man. I know who you're talking about.
If only we were on a sports show. I know we could figure it out.
Do you know a sports guy?
I don't know. Anybody?
A guy that kind of makes his living from sports?
I don't know.
You have it, or is there anybody nearby?
I don't know.
No.
I'm here. Is there a sportscaster in the house?
Yeah. No. Gummit. Costanza. Is there a marine biologist?
Right. I wish there was a marine biologist.
George, you're a marine biologist.
Right. You wait your whole life to be that guy.
Yeah.
I was driving home from the Super Bowl, and I was in the back seat of my friend's car, and this was when it was here. What was it, 05, 06 we had it? And he got pulled over. He was not drunk driving, but we're doing a field sobriety test.
Sure.
And I was sleeping in the back of his car. And he goes, you wait your whole life to be pulled over and have your lawyer in the back seat.
Way to go.
And he was sleeping.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go. Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Are you a nutty, crazy Seinfeld guy? I mean,
you have to appreciate what he does. And
the show.
Oh, absolutely. It stands the test of time.
And the number of characters that could carry an episode all by themselves.
Yeah, and a lot of comedians who got time on that show. And,
the writers, man, of that show obviously Larry David. But the writers must have how fun to sit around the writing table.
That would be my dream job. To write for them or one of the late night shows. There's nothing more fun than just seeing what's going on and then try to write it into funny dialogue.
How weird is it? I mean, your profession, and your want to be profession, second job, kind of couldn't be any more different.
Yes and no. I mean,
button down attorney.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of similarities. I actually have a speech that I give at lawyer conferences about what lawyers can learn from stand-up comedians. And the focus there is kind of what I already started talking about. Likability, authenticity, detail-oriented. There's a lot of the same qualities that work well from a public speaking standpoint on the stage. Obviously, sarcasm and things like that, maybe not so much. But even self-deprecation, if you can, in a jury trial, break the tension and make fun of yourself a little bit, you're going to start to win that group over if it's genuine and not just pandering.
How long have you been doing in terms of in public comedy?
About 8.5 years.
Okay, so a good let's call it a decade.
Yeah.
So you've you've battled heckler.
Oh yeah.
Talk about it.
I mean, it's more drunk people than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, most people. The challenge I find, particularly coming out of the pandemic, and the fact that everybody's got these phones and everybody's on Netflix, is people will sit in the front, let alone the back of an audience, and act like you're on TV, right? So they can keep talking, they can keep eating, they can keep drinking, have a side conversation. Because if they're watching Netflix, they can certainly do it. And then occasionally you have to literally remind someone, hey, you realize I'm here and I'm a living, breathing human being.
Hey, Einstein.
Yeah, I can hear what you're saying, and everyone else can too. So maybe, yeah. And so that's the biggest challenge. I think the etiquette of people going out to a show isn't as good. And then obviously, if you're doing a 10:30 show, there's a lot of people that have had a few drinks, and they want to be part of the show.
Does the venue do a good job? If somebody gets a little much, does the venue have a walkover guy? And hey,
you would hope a good venue does.
That guy,
a good venue does. But I mean, keep in mind, I am not Jim Gaffigan or Nate Bargatze, so I get to play the Comedy Zone and other nice places. You're
also taking tickets at the door and all, right?
Yeah, I mean,
are you also serving the drinks?
No, none of that. But maybe
not that low, not that small,
not that small. But it might be a dozen people in a venue that doesn't always do comedy. So you sort of have to self-police, or let some of the other comedians police, or just work it out with the person, have a conversation.
A few more minutes here with Mike Freed. It's kind of the first time we're going to mess around with this. We call this segment Out of Bounds.
Rightfully so.
Who came up with that? You came up with that.
I think I did. Yeah.
I tell you, you're a writer.
Wow, how about that?
You write all your stuff? Or do
do.
People, just family members, friends, are they always throwing you stuff? Hey, Mike, put this in.
Not really. I mean, other than lived experience, you know, with my daughter, and something funny happens, and I'll be like, hey, that felt like a bit. And she'll be like, no, you can't talk about that one.
Yeah.
Or
change the name.
Yeah.
Just change the name.
My daughter,
hey,
a fake name.
Just lead it off like this. Well, let me tell you what happened. Not to my daughter.
Right.
To
my
Susie.
friend's daughter.
Yes. This was some young girl named Susie. Yeah. Not my daughter.
I get their permission, but yeah.
Do you walk around? And tape yourself or write? No, idea wise.
Oh yeah. No,
send yourself a text.
Yeah.
Of hey, this is
Got a whole. I was on this radio show with this guy the other day, and he couldn't remember a tennis player, for example.
I think you remember. I think I heard that show. I was listening to that show.
It's a good show.
It was a good show. It was really popular, and it was a streaming show. And I saw you, and I stopped.
Right.
And the host, that couldn't think of it. Good-looking guy,
he was
just
very
handsome,
yep.
Just a sexual oozing about.
I wouldn't go that far.
Stop it.
I mean, it was cold there, so
shut your filthy mouth.
Could have just been cold.
You shut your filthy mouth. One more thing before we get out of here, and we're going to trade you in for Brent Beaird. Do you know Brent Beaird?
That is an improvement.
I'll tell you one thing. Great guy. You know Brent?
Yeah, I mean, I
super
know
guy.
him.
College football, basketball. We're trading up.
He's probably going to know the name of that tennis player.
We're trading. Oh, yeah. Shut your filthy mouth. Going back.
Nadal.
Say that.
Rafael Nadal.
Rafael, yeah. Nadal. Going back in comedy, I don't think it's correct, man. I may be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Abbott and Costello.
Yeah. Who's on first?
Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Martin and Lewis.
Yeah.
Back then, there were comedy duos.
Yeah.
Not so much now. Why?
To that.
There's not a whole lot of but I mean,
not much.
Back in the day, there were duos.
Yeah, there's still a few of them that are around. But I think what you see now are the talk show format, where, well, kind of like what we're doing, where you'll have someone sort of the straight person that's setting up the joke or setting up the funny person to be funny, but they're not trying to be the center of it. Actual comedy duo that tours, I'm not aware of anybody of this generation.
That was a couple of generations ago. There were duos, right?
Yeah. There's still some old ones that are left that people wax nostalgic about, but I'm not aware of anybody who's doing that.
Biggest venue you've played?
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a smoke and mirrors, but the fine people at the Icemen allowed us to play the arena. We did for several shows the last couple seasons. We did something called Laugh Your Ice Off, but in fairness, it wasn't on the ice. It was in a VIP room, ancillary to the ice. They did
like before the game?
It was actually after the game, and then they let us come out between periods, and that was can't say it was a poop show because
a freaking disaster.
It was a disaster only because when you're in a big room like that where people are buying hot dogs and not paying attention to you, it's really hard to get their attention.
So you walked out onto the ice between at intermission of the
we gave it a try. We gave it a try.
Were you? It sounds like a duo.
There were 3 of us that were performing at the end.
See
of
what
the
I
night.
mean?
You're right.
See what I mean?
It was me, Brian Ziola, and Jen Weeks, and it was funny to us.
Did you do hockey humor?
We tried, but again, it's you've probably spoken during a game before, and it's very hard to get people's attention unless you're yelling the play-by-play.
Kind of along those lines, that's smaller. You're talking 50, 60, 70 people.
Yeah.
I spoke to 1 billion booster clubs, Gators, Seminoles, Bulldogs.
Sure.
Hey, what's going to happen during? And gosh darn, you're the guest speaker.
Yeah.
They've shown up at wherever sports bar, and you're right. There's talk. It's like
it's hard to get their attention sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. At least in that case, they're here to see you. But in true comedy venue, about 350 is the largest I've played, where it's people there to see comedy.
And you've opened up for some big names.
Yeah.
Not that Mike Freed is not a big name.
Yeah, it's just 2 syllables, Mike and Freed.
Foot and mouth, Terry.
But no, I've had the privilege of opening up for some of the America's Got Talent folks, and Don Marrero from the Big Lebowski, and John Reap, who's a real funny guy. And
do you book all your stuff, or do you have an agent?
No, I'm not that successful. No,
because you said when you traveled, you just start looking up.
Well, what
I'm going to be on work in wherever.
Yeah.
Look up a comedy.
It's relational. I mean, it's like anything else. It's like law. It's like radio. It's like anything that your listeners do. If you're good to people, and social media obviously allows you to be relational. I create opportunities for people when they're in town here. I have some shows that I book. So when I'm in their communities, I have an opportunity to go on their show.
And I apologize. It was more of an interview, but I wanted to, it's kind of, who knows where our
thrilling as it was.
Yeah. But I mean, we want you to make us laugh. So we want not to put any pressure on you.
You're saying I didn't do that.
We're getting there, but I mean, I'm saying, I'm sorry. I've made this more interview-ish.
They got to get to know me.
Get to know you. One more thing. The folks at the Comedy
Zone
at Ramada.
Yep.
Are they part of? Are there all over?
Yeah, there's a.
So you can go. Hey, man, I'm going to Cleveland for work.
I wish it were that easy.
Is there a Cleveland comedy? Is that how you can book?
I've not done much through that circuit, but there is a circuit of which Jacksonville is one. It's out of North Carolina, and then they book people. But a lot of it nowadays, particularly coming out of the pandemic, is relational. So if you know a comedian that's coming around, then you reach out to him or her, and hopefully they give you an opportunity to open or feature, which is that middle spot.
Your fees $10,000-$12,000
at least 30. That's what you said you were paying me.
Or a dowry or something.
Right,
they just give you some oxen and a couple cows.
Right. I tend to drink my fee during the evening.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Thank goodness I have a day job.
Nice. All right, Mike, let's get out of here. Brent Beaird, can't you just feel Brent? He's omnipresent.
I could use a hug from him right now. It's very cold here in the ice rink.
In the Icemen's corporate headquarters, they got 2 ice rinks here.
Yeah. Do they have a heater?
Did you notice?
I could use a heater.
Have you ever ice skated?
Speaking
of comedy, let's go do some ice skating.
That would be amusing. No, it's great what they've done here.
Can you see those little guys back there? They're skating like crazy.
I was going to say they were large, but yeah.
Look at those guys.
Yeah, I think I could take them.
Yeah.
You think
No, we don't. It's not that kind of show, man. We don't beat up kids here.
Well, I think they'd have a chance.
What are you going to do next? Kick some puppies and
another Seinfeld episode.
Club some seals?
Well, if that's what I'm paid to do,
I told you, there's that football coming out in you.
I told you I have pent up aggression.
Football coming out of you. All right, let's get this guy out of here. Let's take a quick break. Cruising through hour number 2. We'll talk some sports on the other side with Brent Beaird. A lot of college football and basketball from the weekend. A lot of stuff developing, including some news out of Athens. That and a whole lot more as we are coming to you live from the Icebreakers Bar and Grill inside the Community First Igloo.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
All right, it'll be about 6 or 7 months before that place is stirring again down at Florida Field. 3 Heismans, 3 amigos. 3 Heisman amigos. Welcome back. Terry Norvelle here. Wrapping up the final half hour of a Monday. Busy Monday. News of the day is out of the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys now looking for a head coach. Mike McCarthy has been relieved of his duties. So the Cowboys add them to the list of teams looking for a head coach, including the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know it's only one more opening, but one more that will get in the way, possibly. You never know. As the teams looking for head coaches, they're all going to choose from that pool probably. There's about 10, 12, 15 of them because the NFL feels like they have to recycle a lot of times. Back here, we're going to catch up with Brent Beaird. Patrick Young was on the first hour. And I want to thank Mike Freed, our buddy Mike Freed. Our first out of bounds segment. We're going to have a lot of fun. Mike is a very successful attorney here. He has been a professional comedian as well. And, our philosophy here, sports and humor and sports is fun. We're going to have some fun on Mondays with our out of bounds segment. Game tonight, Rams-Vikings, 6th and final game of the Super Wild Card round. After tonight, we will have 6 teams eliminated, and we will have 8 teams still standing. Real quick, if you haven't heard, while we're waiting on Brent to get set up, if you haven't heard, here's the schedule for the playoffs next week, Saturday and Sunday. No Monday next week. You will have on Saturday, the first game at 4:30, Houston, the Texans at Kansas City. Boy, that's a tough ask for Houston. But now that Houston won the division and has won a playoff game in the playoff season, real successful now. Houston probably didn't have the regular season a lot of us thought. Yes, they won a division, but getting that first round win really, I think, is a boost for the Texans. Texans at Chiefs, Saturday, 4:30, game 1. The second game on Saturday, Washington at Detroit. Detroit starting to get a little more healthy. They get Montgomery back. That is the Saturday night game, 8 o'clock. Sunday, your first game will be at 3 o'clock this Sunday. It will pit the winner of tonight's game. The Vikings-Rams winner will be in Philadelphia Saturday, 3 o'clock kick. Sunday, 3 o'clock kick, the early game on Sunday. And then the night game is the glamour game. So far, will be the glamour game so far of these NFL playoffs. Baltimore, the Ravens at Buffalo, Sunday night, 6:30 kickoff. That is going to be a war. And assuming Kansas City is able to hold serve and beat Houston, boy, the Chiefs. Now, they earned this right, but boy, the Chiefs, what a nice spot they're in. If they win, they will have to beat either Baltimore or Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl, but not both. Not both. Just one. Could have been a situation where Kansas City would have to go through Baltimore and Buffalo, but it plays out well for KC. So there you have it. That's the setup. Did I hear Mr. Beard?
Yes, you did.
I heard Mr. Beard all set up and ready to go. Brent, a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports. Cowboys looking for a coach. And did you see where Trevor Etienne is returning to Georgia? Gosh, I'm not so sure with the running backs that are going to get healthy.
Yeah.
Nate Frazier, who's already there.
Right.
I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of carries for Etienne in Athens next year.
Well, and Terry, I know he was hurt, but the other reality is, and let's be honest, Etienne, as Mr. Chino joins us.
There you go.
Etienne was nowhere near as effective as we thought it'd be. Terry, you and I, merciful heavens, you and I thought that he'd go to Georgia and get 1,000 yards this year almost.
Sure. Totally agree. And to me, I don't think he's got much of a choice. I don't think he's going to get drafted. I don't think he's a draftable running back.
No. As
a true running back, he might have figured that out and said, I need to go back to college. And I wonder, this is an ego check, but I wonder if you're ETN, you might want to see if you can start working out on some special teams.
Yeah.
That might be his route to the NFL because he has struggled blocking. He just does. He's small. Small running backs can block, but I don't think he's got a knack for that. I've seen him whiff on too many blocks. Brent, I don't think he's got much of a future as a running back.
No, he's going to have to improve in those areas. Now, look, he may, Terry, now I don't know if he'd be willing to do this. He may be better as a receiver.
Yeah.
Or even a defensive back at some point. So
I could see him. I could see him going back to Georgia and really asking Kirby and the offensive guys, maybe I need to develop or see if I can develop as a slot receiver. He's got that kind of game if he can catch, and or work on some special teams as well. I don't know if he's got a knack for punt returning, but he's not a running back in the NFL, I don't think.
I tell you who he ought to try to be is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, who came from Alabama, was this kid that did exactly what you said. He returned kicks. He could catch the ball out of the backfield. You could get him on a jet sweep type thing.
Yeah.
And he became so versatile. He's made himself into a good player.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, we had Pat on the first hour, and we look back at the Texas-Ohio State game. That was Friday night, so we haven't had a chance to discuss that game. The two semifinal games were wonderful. The college football playoff rebounded, and they were both wonderful games. Wonderful dramatic games. Brent, I want to get your take. I led off with Patrick saying this. I know the Texas-Ohio State game, most people point to the scoop and score by Jack Sawyer as the play of the game. I don't think that was the play of the game. I thought the play of that game was 2nd and goal, Texas, from the 1 yard line. They got stopped on first down from the 1.
Yes.
And I think it spooked them a little bit. They got stopped with a jumbo package. They run an inexplicable toss sweep from that position on the field.
They did, really.
And lost 7 yards. I thought that was the play of the game, and that really backed up Texas. I thought that was I don't mind running a toss sweep against Ohio State in the middle of the field, but the field is condensed when you're on the 1 yard line. I thought that was a terrible call by Texas.
They were asking for trouble.
Yeah.
And look, the shortest distance between 2 points is straight ahead. And if you're trying to go from A to B, you would be a lot better trying to go straight ahead. And the other question is, Terry, why do you not put in Arch Manning at that point?
That was Patrick's question.
Who is 6'4", 230, and give him 2 or 3 cracks at it?
Yeah.
But you're right. The toss sweep with a defense that has that kind of speed, there's no and can move laterally. There's no way in the world you're going to win on that play.
And again, you were on the 1 yard line, meaning there's only 11 yards of depth. So of course Ohio State's going to be playing defense in a phone booth. They're going to be packed at the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
I thought it was and Patrick said the same thing you did. Patrick Young said, "What a perfect spot to at least give one snap to Arch Manning. Let him go to the edge, take a shotgun snap with a run pass option. Let him go to the edge. I would have thought 2nd down was perfect to run him in. You got stopped on 1st down with a jumbo. Run Arch in. If he doesn't get it, then run something you really like. Maybe go back to yours. But man, I thought that was a terrible sweep call by Texas.
It was, and obviously, having some version of a scoop and score made it even worse. I mean, he made a great play, but no, I would agree with that entirely. That swung the game, and then the Penn State Notre Dame game. I think you and I were texting together during this. Why in the dickens do you throw a ball across your body if you're a LAR and basically throw it in double coverage? Say we're trying to ground the ball. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it was and it was an easy pick. I thought Notre Dame may regret trying to hold off at the end and get to a field goal, but it went okay, and setting up an interesting championship game a week from tonight. Which again, I'm sorry for the soapbox. Why in the world they think they've got to have this thing on Monday night is beyond me.
I hate it. I understand March Madness. The final game of March Madness is on a Monday. Well, that kind of it's time. The Final Four is Saturday, Monday.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
But your big sporting events, particularly sporting events that you set the date.
Yes.
Okay. In a baseball 7-game series, you can't set the date because it may be over after 4, 5, 6, or 7. But your big sporting events are on the weekend in our country. Your big sporting events are weekend if you set the date. I want to go back to Ohio State, though. I want to give their coaching staff what I think is credit. I was impressed because you could tell, I think, watching that game the other night with Ohio State, you could tell Ohio State's coaching staff correctly very much anticipated that Texas was going to sell out to blanket up Jeremiah Smith. They had a safety and a cornerback running with him.
Yeah.
And that was smart to do. But you could tell that didn't catch Ohio State by surprise.
No.
They had a great package knowing that Smith wasn't going to run wild on Texas because they were double teaming him. They got the ball to Carnell Tate and Ibuka and the tight ends. I thought Ohio State coaching staff, they anticipated correctly, and they didn't get spooked because Smith was taken out of the game.
Well, when you've got – and then you've got two running backs like Junkins and Henderson.
They're good.
And you can throw to them too. So the Ohio State is a complete football team, but they learned from that Michigan loss that you can't play in the phone booth. You've got to be able to spread the field, and they finally learned that. Did you get the same reaction I did from Ryan Day? It was just, Terry, I don't think he was so much elated as he was relieved.
Very much.
He was, you could tell that, he was taking out a lot of frustrations on the sidelines with a lot of different gyrations and fist bumps and so forth. But, he is, he's more than saved his job. But again, he loses to Michigan for another consecutive year. Next year may be different.
Yeah, and they got on him pretty good. He's taken some shots the last couple of years.
Yes,
he's taken some shots by his own fan base. He definitely has. The game, and I'm in no way, shape, or form calling this year's Michigan team that beat Ohio State. I'm not calling them anywhere near as good as this FSU team I'm going to compare. But go back to 1996, the first year Florida won a national title in football.
Mm-hmm.
They got beat by Florida State on the final regular season game. And I'm not so sure that loss didn't propel Florida to win the title.
It did.
It looked like this is what's happening with Ohio State. They lost a bitter rival game to their bitter rival Michigan, but I think there's some similarities in that. Brent, other topic, we only got 4 minutes. There needs to be something done with the schedule. There's too much dead time now with this playoff.
Absolutely.
There's too many pockets of dead time. Wouldn't you agree? They've got to tighten up the dead time.
The biggest issue at all were the ones who had the buys. They didn't play for a month.
They didn't play for a month.
Listen, even the coaches and players said that.
Too much dead time.
Way too much dead time. Absolutely.
And there's been pockets of dead time. This thing started on December 20th, right? And it'll end a week from today, January 20th. But there's it's I think it's kind of lost some momentum twice. The momentum get going, and then there's dead time, and there's dead time, and it'll get figured out. I always point out we're in the guinea pig stage of this college football expansion.
No question.
We're in the guinea pig stage of the new college football, which includes a playoff system that has to be tweaked, a salary cap that's coming in and going to have to be tweaked, a free agency. All the words that you hear around the NFL are now, and issues around the NFL are now issues in college football, Brent. But I try to caution people. The NFL didn't introduce all these, and it was perfect from day one. Some of these situations I've just rattled off, the NFL has taken 2 and 3 decades to smooth out. The NFL has taken 3 decades to smooth some of these things out.
And look, and we've got more change coming. We're going to increase it by at least 2 teams. If we're not going to increase it by 4 coming up in a couple of years. And I think they're going to change the venues again, Terry. I think the venues are probably going to be taken away from the home teams, and that they will go to bowl games. So still, it's much better where it was, but it's got a lot of work to be done.
Brent, 90 seconds. Really nice big boy win for Florida in basketball.
Yes.
Really good teams go win that game. Arkansas was a wounded team. They needed that game. They played hard. Florida won a game with a different style. It was a quick whistle, grind it out, don't score 90-point win. Good, solid win by Florida, who, by the way, has bumped up to 5th in the AP poll that came out. What do you think about Florida's win against Arkansas?
It was businesslike.
Yeah.
I think the thing that got my attention is here, Calipari's 0-3 in the conference.
How about that?
That's amazing, too.
They're dangerous, though. They've got a little talent.
Yeah.
They're dangerous.
Right.
They'll beat some people before the year's out.
Well, they will. But Terry, look, listen, here's TV again. You and I may need to call each other tomorrow night about 10:50 and wake each other up. Florida with a 9 o'clock Eastern time game with Missouri. And Terry, you've done this, I've done this, but I don't. And I talked to a media Gator beat writer a few minutes ago, said, I'm just not going. He said, I'm not with the cold and everything else. I don't want to be going through Waldo at 12:02 Wednesday morning.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I watching one of the football games, I texted Pat. I think it was the first semifinal game on Thursday. At halftime, I set my clock for 20 minutes. I took a nap. I swear I took a nap.
I understand it. I do.
All right, Brent, we're out of here. Good stuff on a Monday. We'll catch up with you throughout the rest of the week. That'll wrap it up. Had a fun, diverse show. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll do it again tomorrow live from Hurricanes in Jointon Creek for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Have a great day, everybody.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding with Bolt City Heating and Air. It's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bolt City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bolt City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com. And they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your